What's up, fellow polymaths? In this Java video, we're going to be making a program where we guess the number. So the number could be any number, but we can stick with something relatively small, like 100, for example. And we'll basically be having a specified number of attempts at the number. And if we're able to get the number correctly in the number of attempts, we win the game. And if not, we lose. So enough talking, let's start coding. So here I'm going to make a scanner object so that we're able to input into the console. Just name this scanner like I have in my other tutorials. All right, now that I've imported the scanner class, we'll have a while loop. Well, first, before we have our while loop, let's have an integer count, which is going to be our limit. We basically call this game count limit. I'm going to just put this equal to 6, and then int game count equal to 0. So that game count is going to be incrementing for every attempt that we have. Or let's call this game attempt. The game attempt count. Then we'll have our max number, which is going to be 100. So basically we want to guess the number from 1 to 100. Okay, so I think we're fine there. So let's make a while loop. And so basically while the game attempt count is less than the game count limit, we want to keep playing the game. So we're going to increment game attempt count for every turn that we have. So we add that at the bottom. And then we're going to have a integer that we guess. So we're going to put that here, our player input number. Then we're going to initialize that in the while loop. So that player input number will be equal to scanner.next int. And then we're going to make a simple output at the beginning of the while loop saying enter a number from 1 to max number. We also need a math.random to determine what the actual number is, so I should have added that before. Number to guess equal to, I'm going to cast an integer, then you call the random method from the math class, then multiply by, actually we should multiply, it should be at the bottom because we want to multiply by the max number, which is 100, and then add 1. Okay, so we have our number to guess the number, we guessed the number, and then we'll have a if statement. If the player input number is greater than the number to guess, then we'll just say the number is, your input is higher than the number. Try again. And if the number that we guessed is lower than the actual number, then we say your input is lower than the number. Try again. Else, if the input number is less than 1, or the input number is greater than max number, then we tell the player you gotta follow the rules, and then remind them what the rules are. And then else, the player guessed the number correctly, you guessed the number correctly, congratulations, with a bunch of exclamations. And then we break out of the while loop. And then here we're just checking if the game attempt is, let's add a boolean saying attempt, guess attempt number guess flag equal to false. And here, just assign this as false. Assign that as false, and that is statement here as well. Here it's going to be true. So after we get out of the while loop, we check if the number guess flag is true or false. If it's true, then just say you win the game. And if it's false, then say you lose, or try to improve next time. We could also add here the number is number to guess. Then when we win, we just say what the number is. And if we lose, ultimately lose, then we say what the number is. And I think we're good. So let's run this right now. All right, so we're gonna guess the number from 1 to 100. So let's put 50. All right, so our input is higher than the number, so we have to go lower. So do 25. Actually, let's stop this first and let's check the number of attempts that we have, just so we know where we are at and how many attempts we have left. Then we could say out of our game count limit. Okay, so I think we're good. So let's run this now. All right, so let's set 50. All right, so our input is higher than the number. All right, so let's go 25. Input is higher than the number. Okay, so let's go with 12. All right, input is higher than the number, so let's go with 6. Input's lower than the number. Okay, so let's go with 9. Input is higher than the number. Okay, so it's going to be either 7 or 8. Let's choose 8. The number 7, we lost. Okay, so anyways, let's actually try again one more time. It was sort of fun. All right, so we're gonna guess the number 50. All right, the number is higher. So let's go 25. Oh, the number is lower, so it's gonna be between 26 and 49 inclusive. Okay, so let's go with 37. And you can probably see what the strategy I'm using for this. All right, so the input is higher, so we're going to be, so 25 and 37, the number that's in between that is 31. We got 31, we guessed correctly. All right, we won the game. Okay, so probably want to name this, you win the number guessing game. All right, so that's pretty much it as far as how to create this number guessing game. So try out using a larger number. And the reason why I use this number 6 is because if you were following the strategy I was using, I was basically starting out with whatever was half the current max, and then if that was either higher or lower, then after I go above, in between the max and the first number, or below that, and then I just keep going whatever was the halfway point. So that was the strategy that I used. So I based the game count limit around that. So, but again, try out higher numbers and play around with the game count limit as well, just to determine like what's the best count limit. If this video was of any value to you, then please leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.